Welcome everyone to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. This is the War after SummerSlam, the fallout from SummerSlam 2001. So let's run the show and let's see how things are going and see what happened. In a pre-show bout that had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, Billy Kidman defeated D'Lo Brown by pinfall with the Shooting Star Press, and this got a 47. In a pre-show bout that had decent reaction from the crowd but terrible wrestling, Kate Quick defeated Shannon Moore by pinfall with the Truth of Consequences, and this got a 45. So now time for the actual show. So The Rock comes out. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, plays over the system as The Rock comes out to the ring to begin Monday Night Raw. And The Rock goes, finally, The Rock has come back to Rosemont. Speaking of coming back, I proved at SummerSlam that I was and will always be the People's Champion after getting a victory over DDP. But there's one championship I want to get back, and that's the one I was screwed out of at WrestleMania when Stone Cold aligned himself with Vince McMahon. You took something that belongs to The Rock, and I want it back. But The Rock has some good news, because I just got a call from the board of directors, and they said I will be facing Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF Championship at Unforgiven. But I am not waiting until Unforgiven to get my hands on the current WWF Champion. So to the rattlesnake in the back, see you soon. And this got an 84. In a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, Crash Holly defeated Chavo Guerrero Jr. by pinfall with an Irish Goanna. Crash Holly successfully defends the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. So O'Hare and Palumbo attack Chris Jericho backstage, leaving him down and out. So a 2-on-1 attack on Jericho. I thought this would do better. In a bout that had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, Rob Van Dam defeated Mike Sanders by pinfall with a frog splash. RVD successfully defends the hardcore title, and this got a 53. So, can you dig it, sucker? Plays as Booker T comes out to the ring with a microphone, and Booker T goes, at SummerSlam last night, I did everything possible to get the WCW United States Championship back, and I lost. I could do what other people would do, but I'm going to do something different. Undertaker, I want to say congratulations. You were the better man at SummerSlam, and I am big enough to acknowledge that. But Undertaker, I am going to get another title shot eventually, and if you are still the WCW United States Champion when I earn myself another title shot, there is going to be a different result. So Edge and Christian's theme plays as Christian comes out to the ring. And Christian goes, Booker, you just don't get it. You're a loser, not to mention a freakazoid, and no one cares what you are going to do next. You can waste the times of these people and try to sell them on some false hope, but no one would care if you laid down next to the remnants of WCW and we never heard from you again. But what these people do care about is my brother Edge getting injured this past weekend, and he won't be cleared to compete for a few months. In the meantime, I'm going to focus on my singles career. So, Book, if you ever become the number one contender for the United States Championship, I might be the champion, meaning you would have no chance of reclaiming that championship. And Booker T goes, why don't we put that theory to the test in a match tonight? Then Christian starts backing up. He goes, because I don't wrestle when you feel like it. So I'll have to take a rain check on that. So Booker T and the Christian promo only got a 55, unfortunately. In about that had good heat and decent wrestling, Sean O'Hare defeated Farouk by pinfall with the Widowmaker. Sean O'Hare wins the WWF European Championship. This got a 61. Then, this did not do too good. After having lost to The Rock at SummerSlam, Diamond Dallas Page is walking down the hallway when he passes by William Regal, calling DDP a loser and congratulating DDP on not getting the job done. When the big game he talked about DDP being the real People's Champion. DDP was face to face with Regal angrily, and then he just walks off angrily, and this got a 42. In a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Kane defeated Mike Awesome by pinfall with a flying clothesline, and this got a 73. In an extremely short match, The Undertaker defeated Nelson Knight by pinfall with the chokeslam. This got a 58. Then The Undertaker is celebrating his victory over Nelson Knight when the Big Show, of all people, come out and attack The Undertaker. And then Big Show picks up the U.S. title and just drops it on top of Undertaker. Like, this isn't a faction war. This isn't an interpromotional war. It's a me wanting that title war. And this got a 60. Lance Storm comes to the ring with the microphone, and he goes, "If I could be serious for a moment, I want to talk about SummerSlam last night. You all saw me defeated by Chris Benoit. Now, despite where I led up to that match, I never had a problem with Chris Benoit. When I talked about Canadian wrestlers on the WWF roster, I didn't bring up Chris Benoit because I did not think of him like the other Canadians on the WWF roster. But Chris, you didn't give me a moment to finish. The reason I did not put you in that group of other wrestlers is because I wanted you to join ECW and come home to the company who gave you a chance when you first came to the United States. Now, I know Paul Heyman would still love to have you come over, so it's not like that door has been closed. Also, Chris, if you want a rematch, then I am willing to meet you in this ring." And this got a 50. In a bout that had fantastic heat and great wrestling, the two-man power trip defeated Buff Bagwell and Canyon when Triple H pinned Buff Bagwell with an ace crusher. So Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H retained the tag team titles. In terms of in-ring work, Steve Austin was head and shoulders above everyone else, and this got 72. Then, so Stone Cold is celebrating his victory. The Rock comes through the audience and attacks Stone Cold, and this got 71. Then, in a post-show bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Chris Benoit defeated Ernest Miller by pinfall with the Dragon Suplex, and that got a 50. So what was the final grade for the show? It was a 73. Okay. So yes, not bad. It could have been much worse with the other 50s, but like the first match that happened on the card, the first official match, not the pre-show matches, and a couple other segments, I guess, really saved this from being like in the what I thought was going to hit like the 50s, as the overall show rating. So you got more viewing figures, cost of drug test, and CM Punk has now returned to the company. And let's see, Chris Benoit was given a stern warning for showing up late. Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko were happy with that decision. And Randy Orton was given a stern warning after missing a meeting with Road Agent. Nothing noteworthy resulted from it. So this was the not the go home. This was the Fallout Raw show after SummerSlam 2001. So until next time, peace out, everyone.